The reality is that young people vote at a much, much lower rate than older people. And I always say when I knock on a door and I meet a young person who comes and says, I'm not going to vote, it doesn't make a difference. If you don't vote, then somebody who looks like me is going to vote. Some senior person, older than me, some white person. The reality is that that's the demographic that's going to get out and vote. So we need you to be engaged. Of course, I would love you to be supporting us, but quite frankly, I'd rather that you just come out and make your voice heard, whatever your political stripe is.
You were just listening to Kathleen Wynne, who I call Jezebel. And I call her Jezebel because Jezebel is the name of one of the most wicked women in the Bible. And you were just listening to her playing the race card. And she's trying to bring racial American politics into Ontario. That's what she's trying to do, and the reason she's doing it for two reasons. Number one, racial division helps liberals and socialists. And when you see whites and blacks and all these racial divisions, when you see them going at each other, that helps the liberals because then the liberals will come in and say, well, the white man, the old white man will come after you. The old white man, he is Ku Klux Klan himself. So you vote for me and we'll stop him. And, well, she's actually doing this for three reasons. And the second reason is because she knows she's going to lose. And what liberals like to do when they can see themselves losing is they will play the race card. So if you can't win votes by your accomplishments, you will win votes by racial division and racial fear. And I think that should be a sin. That should be an 11th commandment. Thou shalt not try to divide the races for your own benefit. It is just a wicked thing. You see what's happening in America. I mean, she's there saying, she's supposedly talking to young people, but really, that's just code word for black people, Chinese people, Native people, Indian people, all those people. I mean, she's using young people as a kind of a whatever. She's trying to tell black people, all these minorities, if you don't vote, then only old white people will vote. And if they vote, then the Ku Klux Klan will come after you. I mean, she's not going to say that directly because she'll look stupid. But the third and final reason why she's doing this is because Doug Ford is the leader of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party. And Doug Ford is and the Ford family, that family, the Rob Ford and Doug Ford, are the few conservatives on the planet who have done an excellent job, well, white conservatives, I should say, but have done an excellent job at getting minorities to vote for them and support them. And they're not doing it they don't do it in a sinister way. They do it because blacks, Chinese, Arabs, natives, all those people genuinely like them. And that scares the hell out of Kathleen Cowperthwaite, Jezebel Wynne, and all the establishment white liberals out there. Because they thought they had minorities by the nuts. They thought, yeah, we got them right where we want them. We've done nothing for black people. We've done nothing for natives. We've done nothing for Arabs. But every election, we'll try and scare them and say, well, the conservatives, they are the Ku Klux Klan reincarnated, and you vote for them, you're voting for the Klan. They can't do that with Doug because the black people love him. So you see her now trying to play the race card. I mean, she's saying if you don't vote, then some white person will vote. And the only reason she would say that is because she wants other people to think that, old white people would vote for the opponent. Well, two things I have to say about that. Number one, I think maybe black people and the Chinese and the minorities of Ontario probably like Ford more than white people. That's just what I've seen. My family, for example, with the exception of yours truly, all my family, they want to be some kind of liberal. Some of them are NDP. And almost all of them have come to me and said, Michael, I'm actually going to support Doug Ford. I mean, these people are probably some of these guys in my family never voted progressive. They would never dream of voting for no progressive conservative. You gotta be Harper, Mulrooney. You gotta be kidding me. But they want to vote for Doug Ford. They're voting for Doug Ford. They genuinely like him. I mean, that is spectacular. I am seeing New Democrat supporters, liberals. When he says that, it's not a joke. This is going to be a very interesting election. And Jezebel knows this. And so now she's trying to bring in the race card to try and divide the races just like it is in America. Because if this was America, Doug Ford and Rob Ford would never get the support from blacks and those things. Because blacks in America are so fearful of voting for any Republican or any conservative that it's really sad. The liberals have done a great job in making blacks feel that even though Democrats and liberals have done nothing for them, in fact, have made their life worse. I mean, every city in America where black people are, the mayor is always a Democrat and the city's a dump. But Democrats have made their life worse. Liberals have made their life worse. And for some reason, they're still under the illusion that if they vote for anything other than the liberal, it's like they're making a big mistake. But we don't see that in this country. And Kathleen Wynne is trying to bring that here because that would benefit them. Well, I'm saying maybe we should take her advice. All the young people out there, all the black people out there, all the native people out there, all of them, go out there and vote. And the reason I'm saying that is because I know they're going to vote for Doug Ford. Go on out there and vote with your big bad self. Go on out there and vote. I mean, I think Kathleen Wynne is nothing but a race hustler at this point. She's desperate, she's cornered, and she does what every desperate, cornered white liberal does. Racist white liberal does, and that's go for the race card, go for the fear factor. If you don't vote, then some white person's gonna vote. Don't let them white cracked honky people vote. And I mean, don't let them vote. Don't let them vote. Vote for me, and I'll keep them under control. Even though I've done nothing for. What has she done for black people? What has she done for Indians? What has she done for natives? She's done nothing. She's made the problem worse. Hydro rates are extremely high. Nobody can pay their bills. I mean, minorities couldn't pay their, well, not all minorities. I mean, a lot of the Asian minorities, they're very well off. But, unfortunately, we've got a lot of minorities out there that are in sticky situations who couldn't pay their bills to begin with. So now that the hydro rates are extremely high and out of control, and the cost of living in Ontario is extremely high and out of control, they're really struggling, and they're really not able to. I mean, a lot of minorities, when they come to Canada, you see them out there building businesses, restaurants, hair salons, retail businesses. I mean, they work hard. No matter what anybody says, legal immigrants to Canada, like my parents, they work hard. Some of them work harder than the people who bloody well here in the first place. I mean, it's just really, but liberals and their tactics and their policies have made it hard to do anything in this province and in this country. And people are beginning to realize that. I mean, it shows that we're not completely hopeless. Now, I want to knock on wood because I don't want to jinx anything. But Kathleen Wynne is cornered. That's the only reason she would say something like that. I mean, this is literally the face of evil. I mean, this is the face of darkness, desperation, despair, anger. That's the only reason she would say that. But she's in for a big surprise. She's afraid of Doug Ford. And I knew this was right. I knew Doug Ford was going to make these people so scared. That's the reason she said that. Out of fear. Out of fear. And she is smart to be afraid. Because she's going to get a whooping. This is the Arana Nation.